Breaking news here on Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here as the Seahawks have made a signing, picking up Chris Steele, the former undrafted free agent out of USC, making his return to the Seahawks. This is after the release of Isaiah Dunn and James Campbell. Let's tell you more about Chris Steele. Started with the Steelers to begin his career, then went to the Dolphins for a minute, joined the Seahawks towards the end of last year. He was released back in April, now making his return to the team. And when you look at Chris Steele, this is a guy who we've seen in college was a pretty decent football player, was an all-Pac-12 honorable mention back in 2021, has shown flashes at times. We'll get you his statistics here in just a second, but you can see why that the Seahawks are giving him a chance again to make the roster when you dive into what he brings to the table and what those numbers were when he was at SC. Now, the Seahawks are loaded at the cornerback position, as we've discussed many times on this program before with what they've done with Devon Witherspoon. More on him in just a second. As well as Tariq Woolen and Mike Jackson and Kobe Bryant and Trey Brown and company. But nonetheless, Chris Steele competing for a spot. Good to have him around at the very least as a camp body of sorts. More from Lance Zierlein of NFL Media. This is the scouting reports on Chris Steele as he was entering the NFL draft a couple of years ago. Decorated recruit coming into the USC program who failed to live up to expectations over 3 years. Steele offers adequate size and length as a perimeter corner, but had some distressing moments when his long speed was tested. He plays with clear eyes and distinct instincts. Clear eyes, full hearts can't lose, right? But lacks ideal short area burst to stay connected with long-form routes. Steele needs to run well to help boost his draft stock. The numbers on Chris Steele, this is what I'm talking about here, folks. In that 2021 season, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, 2 tackles for loss, 33 tackles. To me, that's not bad at all for a former undrafted free agent to give him a shot and see what he potentially brings to the table here. So, what do you think of the signing by the Seahawks to give Chris Steele another chance in Seattle? Grade it for me what you think in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. Let us know in the comment section below what your grade for the signing would be. Folks, this is why you subscribe to Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. When the Seahawks make a big move, we are going to bring you a video as quick as we can here on the channel as we're talking about your Seattle Seahawks each and every day here on Seahawks Today with the latest happenings on your favorite team, news and rumors. We also do our live shows, of course, watch parties and more, and we are ramping up things when it comes to training camp here on the channel. So if you haven't already subscribed, it's not too late. Go ahead and do so for free. Best part about it, turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV to subscribe for free today. The other big headline out of day number 1 of Seahawks training camp was the no-show from rookie corner Devon Witherspoon, as he did not report to Seahawks training camp. And that certainly leaves a lot of questions of why was he not there. Let's start with the report from ESPN's Adam Schefter first thing this morning on the West Coast, saying Seattle Seahawks corner Devon Witherspoon, the number 5 overall pick in April's draft, is not expected on the field for the start of training camp as both sides have been unable to reach a contract agreement. Witherspoon is the final player among this year's 259 draft picks to sign. Now, that was the report from Schefter, and there was more context of what exactly is going on in this situation between Witherspoon and Seahawks management, as described by ESPN Seahawks reporter Brady Henderson. Listen to this. This has indeed been the holdup with Devon Witherspoon's rookie deal. As Brock Heward said on Seattle Sports, again, no dispute over the size of the bonus. It's how much is paid now versus later. The Seahawks, like many teams, defer chunks of bigger bonuses into the future. And that is where the issue lies between these two. Now, before you freak out and are saying to yourselves, oh no, the Seahawks top pick, not there, hold out, how long is this going to be? Before you freak out and all that. The truth of the matter is that holdouts and rookies, what goes on now is not how it used to be. I think we all remember several years ago, Jamarcus Russell, the holdout he had, where he missed multiple games, right? Now, his career obviously didn't go that great, But that was a different time back then. Now you have the rookie wage scale and everything. Guys don't do this anymore because at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Just not play football? They'll figure this out one way or the other. So I know that it comes off as alarming, like, gee, you spent a number 5 pick on this guy and he doesn't show up. I get where you may be frustrated. But at the end of the day, one way or the other, this is all going to work itself out. These things always do. Now, for more context, Brady Henderson, a really good job explaining all this here. Listen to this. Henderson said, Witherspoon's slotted bonus is $21.17 million. The 3 quarterbacks who were drafted ahead of him, that would obviously be Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson, reportedly got 100% of their bonuses paid up front. In some cases, up front can mean within a few weeks of the signing. Will Anderson, the 3rd pick, got 85% up front and 15% deferred. So that is where the situation is to be figured out. Witherspoon wants more money up front. The Seahawks would like to defer money down the road. So that's where things stand right now. Not worked out at the moment, but I want to know. I'm not concerned personally. I think everything's going to be okay. But are you concerned? Weigh in. Tell me in the comment section your concern level about Devon Witherspoon not reporting to camp on time. What is it? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Scale it 1 through 10 and tell me why you feel the way you do. Whether you're very concerned or not concerned, let me know one way or the other where you stand on that. Folks, it was an exciting announcement last week when the Seahawks announced that they were going to bring back the throwback uniforms in 2023. And I got to tell you, it looks so good, doesn't it, what the Seahawks are going to be wearing later on this year and how big of a deal that is. It's a long time coming. Well, I got good news for you. We have Seahawks throwback here from the AFC days on sale now up to 60% off at chatsports.com/Seahawks gear. So if you want the same gear that the guys are going to be wearing, I mean, look at that hat right there. If you want that same style of gear that we're going to see the Seahawks bring back, and if it brings you back to your childhood and the glory days, you can get yours as well and on sale. It's a great deal while supplies last, just for a limited time. Chatsports.com/Seahawks gear to get yours today. That's chatsports.com/Seahawks gear. Now, a contract update on Quandre Diggs. We told you throughout the offseason here that we expected that the way that Quandre Diggs' contract looked, that there would be a restructuring of sorts for the Seahawks safety. And sure enough, we got that news that they did go ahead and restructure Quandre Diggs, clearing up more cap space. And the man himself broke the news, saying on his own Twitter, Seahawks safety Quandre Diggs has restructured his contract, converts 23 salary into bonus. News reported by the man himself. And that's been an ongoing bit throughout the offseason for Quandre Diggs of breaking news for the Seahawks, including that Bobby Wagner news of the news he was coming back. Now, the Seahawks, that wasn't the only move that they made within the last couple of days. Besides that, the Chris Steele signing and all that, we told you for many, many weeks here on Seahawks Today that we expected that Alton Robinson was not going to make the Seahawks roster. The former 5th-round pick who missed all of last season with a knee injury, well, he didn't even make it to the start of camp as the Seahawks decided to go ahead and waive him, cutting him loose at this point and officially moving on. So he won't be involved at all. And Corbin Smith, who covers the Seahawks for All Seahawks Sports Illustrated, provided some context to the situation, saying Alton Robinson clearly has a significant knee issue that isn't getting better. Seahawks decided to move on from him before camp starts. So unfortunate for Alton Robinson. That's the way things go. But the Seahawks move on from here. So now you may be asking yourself, why did they make these moves? Why do you move on from Alton Robinson? Why do you restructure Quandre Diggs? And it's pretty clear what's going on here, folks. The Seahawks are moving heaven and earth to try to find some extra money so they can bring in another player of some sorts. They are laying the groundwork, I think, for a free agent signing. We know the Seahawks don't like to do trades. They haven't done a trade in about a year now. since J.J. Arcega-Whiteside came to town, and obviously he wasn't around that long. I think that they're gearing up for that. And we've heard Pete Carroll say, as mentioned on this show previously, that the Seahawks feel like that they are still an interior defensive lineman away from getting to where they want to go. And, of course, we talked about Shelby Harris on this channel previously as well, about the idea of him bringing him back. So we'll see. Don't know what's going to happen, but I anticipate that there's still one more big move to be made for the Seahawks. So let's ask you, who will the Seahawks sign next in free agency? Let us know in the comments section who you think that is that the Seahawks will sign. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and more, at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there, and I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.